Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. Got Cardell Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. The Washington Wizards. Like we talked to you guys about last night, it was imperative that they picked up this win tonight against the Pistons. They did just that, beating Detroit 121-100. Ray, let you start the night. Just your initial thoughts on this win.
Yeah, man, he took care of business. They got the front end out the way last night, and then they went ahead and closed up shop tonight. Just overall good team win, and really Isaiah Stewart and Frank Jackson stopped this one from actually getting real ugly. They were a spark off the bench for Detroit. But yeah, man, as far as the Wizards go, Bradley Beal was gonna come out here and try to redeem himself from his poor shooting night last night. He did that. 13 to 22 from the field, 37 points. He did what the leading scorer in the league does. I think Russell Westbrook played another great game. His decision making was good. He put up his numbers. He was aggressive when he needed to be. Uh, Again, man, Daniel Gafford, he just changes the game the minute he gets on the floor. Like his first play, he was disruptive at the rim. Jeremy Grant was kind of having his way. Gafford gets in, challenges him at the rim. Then on the other side, on the offensive end, they run a pick and roll, put Isaiah Stewart in no man's land. He didn't know what to do, whether to try to defend Gafford on the roll or stick with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was able to just go in and get an easy layup. So, we continue to see the dynamic that Daniel Gafford gives to this team. Uh, Robin Lopez continues to jump hook people to death. It's the funniest thing in the world, but it can't be stopped and it's efficient. And I think Cardell mentioned a few games ago that teams was going to have to start planning for this, and we're kind of seeing it. Early in the season, we were seeing Scott Brooks have to shuffle the bigs to try to figure something out and get something that works. And funny enough, we're seeing teams having to do that against the Wizards now. Alex Len got started really fast. Then he went down with the injury. But then Gafford and Lopez came off the bench and just gave him something different that Detroit had to deal with. And, it's good to see the Wizards putting pressure on people and making people have to adjust instead of the other way around. But they kind of kept them in the game with fouls. The third and fourth quarter, they were, getting in foul trouble fairly early in the quarters. Westbrook and E. Smith were really the only two in real foul trouble. They both had 5, but as a team, they were kind of handsy tonight. But that's something they can clean up. But yeah, man, overall a good win. We know Detroit is going to be pesky. They're going to play hard. They're going to be gritty. And you got to be careful with teams like that, letting them hang around because, once they get confidence and, feel like they can kind of make a go for it, they're going to push you. And, we saw them kind of close the gap a couple times, but the Wizards were able to regain control of the game. Scott Brooks called a couple timeouts in good situations to kind of settle things down. And they went ahead and finished the job, ended up with a comfortable win.
Cardell?
I just feel like they handled business. They did what they should do. Obviously, Russell Bill, to me, they played pretty much flawless basketball. They did the damage that you would expect them to do, triple doubles, scoring a bunch of points. But like I said, 4 turnovers between the both of them. There was really no mistakes that they made. They controlled the game. They dominated. They got the Wiz a big lead, and the game was over midway through the fourth. You know what I'm saying? Put the guys that usually don't get minutes in. You know what I'm saying? Get them some reps, and that's how it should be. They needed to win this game. I was watching the Cavs and Chicago, versus Chicago, trying to keep up, see what happens with that. The Cavs are right on. They're right behind the Wizards, and Chicago is tied with the Wizards. Chicago ended up winning, so the Wizards are tied. But they have the exact same record, but they jumped the Toronto Raptors, so they're basically both tied for the 10th spot. You know what I mean? That's why they have to keep winning these games. And the Cavs, even though they took an L, they only a couple games back, so they're not going anywhere. Ish Smith was A lot of people always looking at a lot of people looking at Russell Westbrook. Him getting healthy is the reason why the Wizards are climbing back into the playoff mix. But it's not just him. You spoke on Gafford, but I said Ish Smith. He missed a lot of time. They didn't have anybody to run that second unit. You know what I mean? And that's when Russ got out of control, getting fatigued, and started making mental errors. Man, you know what I mean? And with him back, that's another veteran presence coming off your bench that's used to being a starter. That can control you basically dealing with two starters at that point. You don't really get a rest. So, yeah, he was big, 16 points and 5 assists. They really couldn't keep him out the paint. You spoke on Lopez and Gafford, what they brought. The bench overall, they had to show up because Washington's front court, once again, I know Rui got hurt, but he was off before that. Alex Len got hurt early in the game. Denny, he's still being a rookie, up and down. They had 17 points between the three of them for the game. That's not going to do it. So the Wiz bench had 52, so they stepped up, big time, and they needed those points, man. Because if they would have been struggling, then Detroit might have got this game. Because Detroit bench came to play, they had 55 points. I also felt like Wizards 3-point shooting, it was there tonight, and it was a difference in the game. Beal was 4 for 6, and as a team, they shot 9 to 16 and held Detroit to 9 to 27. That's the thing. So that was big. And I keep harping on the turnovers, man. That's the key. Washington had 14, Detroit had 18. You limit the mistakes you make. It's harder for teams, especially rebuilding teams like Detroit, to try to get momentum, get a rhythm to try to beat you. And that's what they did. They didn't allow Detroit to get any rhythm, and that's why it was a blowout win. The Wizards, them changing up their styles instead of just focusing on threes like they were in the first half of the season. Coming out of All-Star break, they're attacking the basket, and it's in that paint and this adjustment is helping them win games. They scored 74 points in the paint. Detroit only scored 46. You can't guard Beal. When Russ get ahead for this thing, you can't guard him. Ish Smith is still fast. He gets in the lane. You got a lot of guys that can mix it up. I'm glad they made this adjustment because it's winning games instead of just focus on the analytical part. Three's the best shot in basketball, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't getting it done. As you see, if you off, it's going to be hard to score enough points. And with them getting in the paint, they're also getting to the free throw line more and more. So, and it's putting fouls up on other teams and forcing them to adjust. So I like how they're mixing it up, man. And with the blowout win, Detroit got some youngsters. They got some youngsters that's developing. I like Isaiah Stewart. I think he's gonna be a double machine. He's gonna be a beast in the East. Frank Jackson, he was on fire in the first half. He was going to work. The Wiz struggled to slow him down in the first half, but then they eventually got a hold on him. And Josh Jackson, he's a former lottery pick for a reason, man. I think he's finally found a home. I think he's matured a little bit, and he's finally showcasing his all-around game, man. And I know Sadiq Bey had an off night. It happens. He's a rookie, but he's a promising rookie as well, man. And then thing to keep an eye on moving forward, the health of Rui and Alex Len. Right when the Wizards got healthy, 2 dudes dropped, and they were already without Bertan. So they got to stay healthy during this run because they're going to need all hands on deck because Chicago put out a tough win without Zach LaVine. I know the Cavs going to be scrapping. I mean, it's basically the playoffs, man. Team scrapping. They feel the playoffs there. So, they trying to get in the mix and trying to punch their ticket to get to the postseason.
And then, coming up for the Wizards, got a day off. The next one, they got the Thunder, another day off. You got the Warriors. You got the Thunder twice next week. So you got an opportunity, like Carter was saying, like Ray's been mentioning, you got an opportunity to improve your stock and rise in the standings. It's on them to take advantage of it. Did you guys have anything else more for this particular game?
Nah.
It was live to the comments. And then other things you want to bring up, obviously, I'm sure a bunch of folks have heard it. The 21st will be the first game where the Wizards get a chance to play in front of fans in their home arena. All right, with some of these comments, we will start. Cardell, you can get the first batch of my guests. We can start with Ray Jones. Russ and Gaff work really well together. Big O, I'm torn. Part of me wants Gafford to start, and part of me wants him to continue to be the spark off the bench. Tommy needs to give him some of Bertan's money. And Ned of GLC. Yep, Gafford should start. Type up the extension now.
I mean, I kind of said the last game after last game. I felt like, a lot of GMs made mistakes on Gafford because he's not going to step out and shoot threes. But it's like what Charles Barkley said. That's what happens when you hire your son-in-law to give him a job in the NBA franchise, and they never been near a basketball court in their life, man. You make silly mistakes based off numbers. Fine, he ain't gonna step out and shoot threes, but he will run the floor, protect the basket, dunk on anything that moves, and set good screens and be a presence defensively. That's what helps you win games as well. And Chicago basically just gave him away, man. And it's ironic that they're fighting Chicago for a playoff spot, and Chicago had this dude, you know what I'm saying? And then they traded him, and then ended up trading. I forgot what they traded. They ended up trading for Thice. So you basically, you gave him away and needed him again. Like it makes no sense, man. But that's what bad teams do. There was advantage for the Wizards, man. Tommy snuck in there, got it. And then it was all good. But yeah, of course, Russ and Gafford gonna work together. Russ had Ibaka early in his career when he was jumping off the gym, dunking similar mode before Ibaka expanded. Same with Steven Adams. He knows exactly what to do with bigs that know how to finish. You know what I mean? Especially in pick and roll situations. He definitely need to get re-signed. That's for dang sure. I said that last game. And as for him taking some of Mert's hands money, no comment.
Look at you taking the high road tonight. Look at you. I agree with you wholeheartedly, sir.
Nah, I
Go
just,
ahead.
I just know a lot of people in front offices, man. I got to buy my time. Can't be out here talking too reckless. Even know how I feel.
Ray, did you want to chime in on any of those comments you get?
Nah, man, it's pretty straightforward here. We all see what Gafford means to this team.
All right, here you go. Cardell had those 3 small comments. You get the book that somebody wrote. Can't miss TV. I wish Beal didn't settle for threes for majority of the game because he was killing the Pelicans in the paint. He didn't shoot too many mid-range shots, even though he is statistically the best mid-range shooter in the league. There was moments in the game where he let his frustration with his play impact the game. As far as the turnovers go, Rui and Beal need to stay level-headed when they're having bad games. Rui and Beal's defense was solid, though. Gafford was a monster the whole game. The Wizards did a good job in the second half guarding Ingram, who had a very hot start. Great team win. Westbrook played an all-around great game. He has been on a mission since All-Star break.
I mean, it was just a bad shooting night for Bill. I think everybody's gonna have one of those every now and again. I think it's obvious that's an anomaly for him, especially given the series on this season. So I mean, I'm not gonna harp on one game and when he's on the tail like he's on right now. It happens, man. So and we see he bounced back tonight. Even after he stayed after the game and got some extra shots up, try to find his rhythm last night. And we all know what Bill can do offensively. So as far as shot selection or what have you from last night's game, I just chalk that one up. I mean, he's earned a mulligan every now and again. I mean, people get frustrated when they play basketball. It is what it is. I don't, as long as it's not, detrimental to the team. I mean, it's okay to show frustration and emotion. Yeah, Gafford, we talked about it last night, man. He changed the complexity of the game, challenging Zion at the rim and kind of putting that fear into the rest of the team. I think both of you guys mentioned last night when you see Zion getting stuff like that, then you gonna rethink life coming down there. But yeah, man, it was a good game for them last night. Brandon Ingram definitely was on the burner in the first half, and they kind of cooled him off in the second. And we spoke on Westbrook as well, how his players improve. And again, the common thing with him is just limiting the turnovers and not being as erratic. So yeah, man. All in all, it's nothing outrageous here. Like I said in the beginning, it was just an off night for Bill. and he came out and made up for it.
Cardell, did you have anything to add to this one?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was off night, but a lot of those shots were within the flow of the offense, and you got to take those shots. People don't understand that when within the flow of the offense, if you don't take certain shots, it can cripple your offense. It's it because guys are anticipating you taking the shots that you normally take, so they already crashing the boards, looking to get back. If you pass, that's how silly turnovers happen or whatnot, man. He got to take those shots, even if he's not making them. If it's one of them flow, look, a wide open Beal from three is a great shot. You know what I'm saying? So even if a dude's running out, if he got space, it's a good shot, especially for the Wizards. So I'm not mad at him. No, and obviously he hasn't shot well from three all season. I think he's shooting 33% this year. You know what I mean? So tonight was a better night as we all saw, man. So and I also think it's also part of the fatigue, the grind of the season, and the fact that he got off to such a high start. Averaging 30 plus and whatnot, 60-point games and whatnot for the first time in his career. Teams are guarding him different. They throwing everything at him now. So he's seeing all types of different defenses and stuff. So it fatigues you. And he's stepping it up for defense because he had to. Last year he was very subpar. We're just keeping it real. But this year he's been more effective on that end, and it fatigues you. You know what I'm saying? And when you're fatigued, the further you move out, the harder it is to make shots. Your legs are gone. So that's what happens. So I mean, look, I wasn't really tripping off the shot selection. Yeah, he was off, but it was within the flow, and those shots enabled Russell Westbrook to get boards or Daniel Gafford to get boards. It kept the Wizards in sync. If you don't take those shots, then what message does that send? Along with crippling their offense, you know what I mean? So now he's the leading scorer for a reason. You're gonna have a couple bad shooting games. It happens. Just like he bounced. He had that last night. He bounced back tonight.
All right, on to the next one. Cardell, I think this is yours. It's from M. Man, Russ and Gaff were game changer. It's a shame that some Russ stands are literally the ones ruining his reputation. Why can't they just accept that he has flaws too? Same with every single player in the league. And what's funny is that Russ himself in interviews has said he needs to stop with the turnovers, etc. That being said, good win.
Yeah, my man. You sound like you watched the post game, man. The clips you actually watch. You're not emotional. Look, I just chop it up to the time we're living in now. Simping is the cool thing to do in all the aspects, man. People just gonna kiss whoever they kiss whoever, but they gonna kiss, man. It is what it is with no logic attached to it. We give Russ the ultimate props. You know what I'm saying? We know what the all around threat he's been and what he is. He's a former MVP. We say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, all that, man. But it seems like people, turn deaf when we say those things. They only want to hear, the bad stuff so they can complain or whatever. But that's them. They can keep complaining. My life will move on. It won't affect me one bit. When he plays good, we're going to speak on it. When he plays bad, we're going to speak on that. 8 turnovers is unacceptable. I don't care what type of triple W you have. You're being a double agent because you're helping your team and you're helping the other team, and you can't do that. Not a position the Wizards in. So it is what it is. You're right. It's the same type of vibe we get with other players, especially specifically one in LA where they just over the top with the praise, and they make it where people just don't like the guy indirectly, and it has nothing to do with the individual because they're not doing nothing; they just doing their job. It's people that just don't want to be honest and be truthful, and that's just what it is, man. It's a game. It's a long season. He's gonna have bad games. Who doesn't? Name one athlete that hasn't had a subpar performance. All right, then. So why can't Russ have one or a few over 73 games? So yeah, man. Thank you for echoing our statements. For the past few weeks, we no longer acknowledge those, dissents for us, and we just gonna keep telling it like it is, man. But shout out to you.
All right, last but not least, Ray, you got this one's from Troy. Shout out to Najee Marshall, moving without the ball, making smart plays. Glad our former PG Antonio Daniels gave him a lot of love on the Pels broadcast. DMV is always repping. W got me in a good mood.
Yeah, man. No, we talked about Najee Marshall last night. He's a good piece for them, and I'm just glad he's getting the opportunity. Especially having been able to watch him since high school. Uh, and he just continued to improve and get better. And his route kind of went the long way, but I'm sure he's better for it. And glad the Pelicans got a good one, man. And yeah, I didn't realize Antonio Daniels was doing a broadcast for them. So it's a lot of intertwining parts there. But yeah, man, Najee, he's is just glad to see the work panning out. And then he's just getting the opportunity to show his skills, and then kind of put him in the same vein as we saw Sadiq Bey tonight. I mean, Sadiq didn't really have a good game tonight, but another local kid that worked his way up to the highest level in basketball and is just getting the opportunity to shine.
Cardell?
Yeah, definitely. I've always been a fan of Najee Marshall because he's versatile and tough. That's the one thing I look for in players. One of the intangibles, if you're tough, you can't rock him. You can't rattle him at all, physically, mentally, or spiritually. He's gonna be him. Um, you know, with the Hargrave did his thing. Saw him on the AU circuit at Roosevelt and at Xavier. I think a lot of front offices be overthinking things, man, with themselves because they didn't draft him in the 2020 draft, but then he gets a two-way with the Pelicans. He goes to G League and tear things up, and now he's highly coveted. And after the G League thing, I think he got used to NBA systems and whatnot. So I think he's flowing. Right? He's in a rhythm right now. Three of his last 4 games, he scored in double figures. And one of those games, the Pelicans, everybody from Stan Van and Zion, they say he was the reason why they won that particular game. You know what I mean? So, and he had a monster double double working on a triple double against the Wizards last night. He's a dog. That's it. That term gets thrown around too loosely these days. He's a dog, man. He's going to bring it. You know what I'm saying? Whether he's shooting well or not, he's going to make an impact some way. And Stan Van he has confidence in him, man. So I expect that two-way to be a real contract very soon. You know what I'm saying? Where he be secure and all he gotta do is focus on basketball and getting better, which I know he's gonna do anyway. So yeah, man, shout out to him, man. That he's the ultimate. He's one of the KD's a special case. I know he, go out our area, he's a special case, but more than likely, a lot of guys' path will mirror what Marshall has done. You know what I'm saying? So you need to look at him and see how he's persevered and got there. Not being drafted, he still found a way. So, shout out to him, man. Definitely proud. Being from the area. Keep representing, keep pushing.
All right. If you guys have nothing else to add, want to thank everybody for tuning in. We truly appreciate you guys after each and every Wizards game. Got the day off tomorrow, at least from the Wizards. We'll be back Monday night with the Wizards as they host the Thunder. Got the regular schedule Focus TV on Tuesday night. We'll see you Wednesday night again for the Wizards when they host the Golden State Warriors. So you guys enjoy your day off tomorrow. We will as well. And we'll see you guys very soon.